DesignDataManager version 2008.2 introduces a new single save manager, giving simple and visual control over storing to DDM. We have an assembly drawing in session. Having completed a number of changes to the assembly, we are ready to store the updated assembly and drawing back to DDM. Selecting Single Save from the PDM Integrated drop-down menu opens the new Single Save Manager window. We can now see the full structure of the assembly we have been working on, with any changes highlighted in red. We can filter the actions set against modified parts using the Highlight Action Items drop-down. This allows us to work in an ordered way through the assembly. Selecting New allows us to view any new objects that have not been stored to DDM before. By selecting Overwrite, we can highlight items marked for overwriting the DDM record. The Single Save Manager also allows us to see any related component drawings stored in DDM and not necessarily in session. Let's start by giving the new component a part number. In this instance, auto numbering is switched on, and we select the required numbering rule for this part. Next, fill in a part description. We will leave the base plate C-10046A set to overwrite the DDM record. Note that the drawing is also selected for update. Even though it is not in session, the Single Save Manager will retrieve the drawing and update it. We will now turn our attention to the top-level assembly drawing. Select both Assembly and Drawing, right-click and choose Up Issue as the action item. The drawing and assembly are now marked to increment to Issue 2. Next, we want to enter change history details. With both items still selected, right-click and select Change Reason. Enter change details as required. All actions have now been defined for changed items, so we can complete the process and store the changes back to DDM by clicking OK. A summary of the changes stored back to DDM is shown in the built-in browser window. Notice that the base plate drawing, which was not in session, has been retrieved, updated and stored back to DDM. Notice also that the new revision of the assembly drawing is in session and change notes added to the revision history block on the drawing. Selecting Search and Open allows us to see the changes stored back to DDM. Here we find the Up Issue top-level assembly drawing, and we can open the preview by clicking on the thumbnail. This concludes an overview of the Single Save Manager. The Single Save Manager can also be used to simplify management of family table parts, and this is covered in a separate movie on this subject.